Hi, my name is Dan Page. I'm the founder of Skill Highway, and today I'm here to talk to you about some very unique strategies that I use to be able to generate new clients, new revenue, and new business. In fact, I'll give you a quick story about how I launched a business in 2010 from a standing start. That means no website, no business plan, no customers, no revenue, only an idea. And we built it from a standing start with nothing to $1.7 million in new business in 2010, in fact, in 9 months. And I'm not here to boast. Please understand that. I'm here to give you specific examples of what we did and how you can do the same type of thing for your business. So real quick on my background, so you know I'm not some charlatan. I have been a business development specialist on the corporate level for 31 years. I've built up my own businesses, a number of them over the years, because I've been a serial entrepreneur, generated millions of dollars of revenue for my own business, plus those of my clients. My clients are many of the captains of industry, companies like Citibank, Capital One Bank, Heinz Pet Products, Coors Brewery, Hearst Magazines, the Rolling Stones. All these companies spend a lot of money with me to help them launch new products, enter new industries, relaunch failing products, relaunch divisions. This is what I do for a living. So I'm here to share some of the secrets and some of the insights that I know that can help you with your business. And we'll talk a little bit later about why I want to be able to do this. So first off, let me jump right in and get to the meat of it. Back in early 2010, I was talking with a friend of mine who is a finance genius. This fellow has forgotten more about finance than you or I will probably ever know. And he was telling me about some of the banking laws that are going on, and we all know the economy is really difficult right now, and how small businesses are really suffering when it comes to borrowing money. If you've ever gone to a bank loan in the middle of this recession, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you try to get funds for your business, it is nearly impossible because the lending restrictions are so tight with the current banking and financial regulatory environment. And he said, Dan, I know how to be able to get funds for business. And so, well, naturally we started talking. And so he had an idea about how we might be able to make funds available for small businesses. And I said, well, I knew this gentleman to be a man of action, so I said, let's just start a small business. You handle the finance side, I'll handle the marketing side, and we did just that. So in April 2010, we launched a business called Funding Strategy Partners. We built a very simple website, fundingstrategypartners.com. You can look at it right now and go to the internet and look at it. Just a very simple website, just an informational website. And then so we basically set that up and set an LLC up. That's it. Less than $200 we spent. And then the onus was on me to go out and see if I could find some customers. So the first thing that I did is employ one of the strategies that I've used many, many times over the years. And I asked myself, of course, who is my customer? In our case, our customers are small business people that have less than $5 million in sales, less than 20 employees. Believe it or not, that's considered a small business. And they're looking for funding. And they're struggling a little bit. So then secondly, I asked, where do I find these companies? Where do I find these small businesses? And it's the same process you need to go through. Where do I find my customers? Where do my customers congregate? So where do small business people congregate that are looking for assistance and looking for funds? Well, one of the answers we came up with was an SBDC, which is a Small Business Development Center. Every state has one. They're government-funded entities that help small businesses. So I reached out to a couple of these SBDCs, one in Maryland and one in New Jersey, and called them up and started asking them a few questions. And the main question I asked was, do you ever get small business owners that come to you looking for assistance because they've been to the bank looking for money and they've been turned down? They said, yes, we do. That happens pretty much on a daily basis. I said, well, I explained a little bit about our background and asked, if I were able to help you help them, would that be of interest to you? And they said, yes. What do you mean? What do you have in mind, Dan? I said, well, how about if I were to do a webinar for you? A webinar helping people that have gone through that process and can't find funds for the business. If we were to do that for you just as a public service. And in the end of that webinar, I'll talk a little bit about what we do, but I'll tell you this is not going to be an advertisement. This is just going to be an informational, educational, helpful webinar. And they said, sure, we'd be interested in doing that. We would make that available to our members. So we did just that. My partner and I created a webinar called what do you call it? We call it, I can't get a bank loan for my business. Now what do I do? Because that's exactly what these SBDCs told us that people were coming and telling them. So we created this webinar, and essentially we just went through and looked at all the different non-traditional sources of funding. And just created this 50-minute webinar that just talked about it. Here's the different types of funding, here's the good points, here's the bad points, here's the paperwork you'll need, and here's the likelihood of you getting funding, and the bottom line is almost any business can get funding. And so we were reaching out and we were helping. And so we did that, and so what we did is we went to these SBCs and we solved a problem for them. That's the thing that I want you to take away from this part. We went to a company that does business with the types of folks that we want to do business. We identified a problem that they have, and we solved that problem for them. We helped them. And at the end of the webinar, we talked a little bit about, here's what we do. We're one of the 6 different types of funding entities out there that help small businesses. The net result, we had our first client, just like that. And we funded this business, I think $75,000. This is our first 30 days in business, $75,000 in income. Okay, so then we started developing more and more of a relationship with these SBDCs, and then bolstered by that success, I wanted to employ a second strategy that I've used many times over the years for generating new clients and new revenues. So I went out and thought, who are our competitors? Now you might have heard, sure, do business with your competitors, but how? What do I do? What do I say to them? And these competitors are nasty. They don't like me. That's not what I'm talking about. So I went out and asked, what are the other types of entities that actually fund small businesses, that they might fund businesses that I couldn't touch, I'm not interested in, because it's not within my specific confine of what I'm looking for. But perhaps some of these folks come to them and they can't help them, and they have to turn them away. And on the flip side, I have small businesses come to me that I can't help because they don't fit, our constructs of what we've built. So I started looking and identified some companies called factors. A factor is a specific type of funding entity, and they look a little bit like us. And did some research on them and said, yeah, I think our business model does complement them, and here's why. And then I created a list of factors, a list of 30 of them, and then and started reaching out and called up and just had some exploratory conversations. Started first calling some of the smaller ones so that I could get my feet wet, learn what the objections might be, learn what does work and what doesn't work based on what I thought worked. So I tried to get a feeling there, because I know my close rate, if you will, is going to be less in the beginning until I get my arms around it. So then I developed a good understanding of how I might be able to help these factors. So I called up and said, okay, Mr. Factor, I get clients come to me that I can't help, that I'd like to point to you because I want to be able to help them somehow, even if I can't help them myself. So immediately, bing, the antennas went up. And I got an instant response. Sure, Dan, we'd love to have some referrals. And then naturally the question is, well, tell me about what you do. So I sort of set that up so that they would ask me, and then I told them about our business model, and they were very, very intrigued. I said, based on what we do you get folks that come to you and you can't help but might be a fit for what we do? And across the board, the answer was, well, yes, we do. Sometimes we get a lot. It might only be one a month. And one fellow said we might get 10 a month. And I said, how about if I send you clients that I can't help, and you send me clients that you can't help, and if you send them to me and we fund them, I'll pay you. And the answer was, well, of course I do that, Dan. Because not only are you sending me checks and you're paying me money for business that otherwise is completely dead, but some of these businesses that come to them, and they can't help, if I can help them at the level that I do, and once they grow a little bit, they can come back to that factor and they can be a customer. So none of this was by mistake. We thought this all out ahead of time, planned the approach, planned the speech, planned this pitch, and the response was exactly as I assumed it would be, and we instantly started generating business. It went from our first customer in April of 2010 all the way to $1.7 million of new business in that short 9-month period from April to December of 2010. So those two strategies I just shared with you are a part of a compilation of strategies that I've developed over a period of 30 years doing this. And this is just a short webinar, so I couldn't get into a lot of the details, but there are a lot of subtleties underneath there on how to be able to position yourself and how to be able to, talk to these folks. And that's the type of thing that we do at Skill Highway. I give you specific examples, specific assistance of how you can grow your business, not only from my expertise, but that of a lot of other skill experts that we have on board here. So I'd love for you to be one of us, to join us, become one of the group of folks here at Skill Highway that are really taking their business to the next level. And in fact, if you join, not only will I give you assistance, but of a lot of the skill experts that are that are part of our group. I use the word skill experts, others that have expertise that complement mine and probably yours, and are willing to do the same thing that I'm talking about, and from the heart, from an ethical perspective, reach out and give you assistance with your business. In fact, I'll give you just a few examples of the types of things that we can do for you. One of our skill experts is a trademark attorney, a very respectable trademark attorney, and she's willing to sit down with you and give you a 30-minute consultation about trademark issues, launching your business, and how to protect yourself for free. She normally charges $200 for this, for free. We have a number of different coaches that are entrepreneur coaches, and every single one of them are willing to give you a consulting session they charge a minimum of $100 for. They give it to you for free. We have one-on-one web strategy consulting, giving an assessment of your website, free. We have an entire PC tune-up system. We can utilize one of our experts as an expert in keeping all of your computers up and running and operating smoothly, which is really important if you've ever had your computers crash like I have, and he'll do that for free. So many different services we can make available to you that our experts, like myself, are willing to give to you, and we're willing to do that if you join as a premium member for free. So what does that mean? You can join as a free member, and I definitely have a free membership available, and we provide a lot of assistance like this webinar right here. And if you don't have the money and you're not sure about us yet and you want to join for free, click this link right down below and join. If you want to take it to the next level and get the type of value that I was just talking about, you ask yourself, okay, Dan, here it comes. What are you going to charge me? Is it $500? Is it $1,000? Are you just going to click away from this video? No, because I don't work that way. If you want to join as a premium member, I keep it so affordable it's laughable. It's $14.77 a month. That's under 50 cents a day that I will provide all the different value that I was just talking about. Look around the website and see what I'm talking about. All the free services from our skill experts. In fact, if you want to join, you can join as a premium member for $14.77 a month, or you can pay for an entire year for $147, which saves you 20%. In fact, if you join at $147 for a whole year, I'll send you my entire document that I wrote up called Positioning for Profit that I normally sell for $189. I'll give that to you for free. And included in that are those two strategies that I just talked about and a whole bunch more, because I genuinely want you to succeed. Because I know if I do, I know if I'm really helping you and you're benefiting from that, then I'll have a customer for life and we'll have a long-term relationship and you'll tell all your friends about me. That's what I'm looking for. So please join. Click on this link below and join and become one of our group, one of our elite group of skill experts and Skill Highway members. I really hope you do, and I hope to see you.